talk about HeroClix competitive format, but this week we're taking a little bit of a break from that, and we are looking into some channel housekeeping for Married with Clicks, as it were. We have to update a few things, most importantly of which, Tom and Jay couldn't join us this week. Mike's been on location on a new schedule, so unfortunately his schedule's a little up in the air. But this is an ideal time to kind of play catch up again. One of which, of course, is, as we mentioned on our Facebook, we ran into a little bit of a family tragedy, and that kind of took a lot of the things off the rails, and a lot of content couldn't get out. So I'm hoping this week to get that epilogue episode of Into the Mind of Madness. Though I'm not going to give up on the show. It may change in format just to give me a little bit of time to do some stuff while I'm chit-chatting with you guys about HeroClix. So the format may change to, instead of me sitting on HC Realms, I might just play video games and talk with you guys about, the stuff in general. It's going to be a little bit more interactive, as it were. And in general, the channel's about to become more interactive. But we're going to get into that in a second. My week in HeroClix has spent a lot of time still sorting through all the stuff from Worlds. I finally got it all sorted out, what I'm keeping, what I'm going to be getting rid of / selling, or giving away as prizes in a potential everyman format tournament. Ooh, so I think that would be pretty cool for some of that stuff. Amber gives me the eyebrows like, yeah, that would be pretty cool. Why didn't I think of that? Because I'm the genius around here. I'm the one doing the thinking. But yeah, that's been the most part. I think we were gonna try to get out a fun game, but then, like I said, things went off the rails, and yeah. So here we stand. We also have my birthday coming up this weekend, which is super exciting stuff. I'm about to be older than old, because I'm old now, and so I'm gonna be a slightly older version of old. Looking forward to that, as it were. What else is up in the world of HeroClix on Married with Clicks? So, our channel itself is going to undergo a major shift. We have done our best. We had a little spot there where we had games back, and that was exciting times for us. It was good to be able to film those. Unfortunately, that's just not feasible anymore. Amber is working, which is great news for us. I think I've said it about 1,000 times on this channel. And we're still kind of adapting to things. As a result, we don't have the back end time or the front end time in which to get the editing done. Because, to say the least, about an hour's worth of your viewing requires about 5 to 6 hours of editing for our games. So, as you can imagine, that's a lot of work. And we've seen suggestions from other people interested in things like that, or in expanding on that, and just expanding on that is even more editing to the hour, and we don't have that time available to us anymore. So most unfortunately, we have to kind of step back from live content. Now that does kind of put a wrench in the gears of the patron. Those of you on Patreon at the $5 mark, this will be basically the last week where that $5 perk exists, but we're changing the $5 perk. So if you are a $5 or a patron, we are going to be adding to our live content, which is going to be basically all of our content, a couple minutes of call-in time, where what we'll do is when we get to that point in our live show, we are going to post to the patrons on Patreon the link to those who are $5 and up. The link to the Google Hangout we'll be using for our live. So we're basically going to strictly use Google Hangouts while we're streaming. So you're going to see more of that busy stuff on the screen. We have to kind of cover up a lot of the stuff there, or we'll just switch to Google Hangouts when we kind of flip that over, try to make it as seamless as possible. No, it doesn't exist. And then, once we get people kind of participating in that, to add their input, add their questions, like a call-in show if you're listening to the radio or watching, occasionally on TV and sometimes on CNN. I think they do the same thing, or certain debate shows will allow call-in questions, that kind of idea. Kind of a town hall sort of element to that for the $5 and up patrons. So that's going to change, but sometime between tonight and tomorrow on the patron page, we're going to actually change the type on that. And this will start next Monday on the Meta Lab. Yeah, so that's kind of exciting slash, sorry guys, we tried sort of situation. We may try to do like a monthly game if we can. I'm going to look at Amber and see if she's shrugging at me like, we're going to try something. But so here's what our content is going to look like. Into the Mind of Madness will continue as a different show until tournament season rolls around again. Now, tournament season will be, hey, there's a WKO and it's constructed. Time for me to start thinking about teams. But if it's sealed, I'll just continue. And it's mostly going to be me catching up on video games while I chit-chat HeroClix with you guys. Because I'm coming up with ideas that keep me talking with you guys and being interactive. Or I might just drop the show altogether. I haven't decided yet. Every man for everyone. So basically, we're going to try the chit-chat with you guys while I play video games thing once a week. If that doesn't go so well, we'll try something else. And then if that doesn't work, well, we'll just make every man or Mind of Madness just less frequent. Every man for everyone will continue. In fact, as I just mentioned, I'm planning on probably announcing a local tournament for likely sometime in the new year. This is the holiday season. It's a nightmare, and it's better if once we get into the new year to kind of open up the door for something like that. Maybe even wait till the next set. I believe Earth X comes out in February. Maybe wait till Earth X is settled down, and then we'll run the event. I'm still thinking about that. But this week's Every Man for Everyone has tournament results that I love sharing. I love that. Just seeing my little baby format kind of come up, as it were. And I'll share with people, how the meta for Every Man for Everyone continues to grow. Now, Casual Corner will continue, but Amber's going to be in the hot seat. So Amber's going to be in this seat, kind of doing a live update, allowing questions in chat, obviously, as she wishes, and just generally discussing casual stuff in HeroClix. That will be probably Saturday nights for a little, just an hour or two maybe, or it'll be infrequent because our weekends are our weekends. We got to try to do our best. It might be an afternoon show. That will have an infrequent schedule, but it will be on the weekends to boot. Of course, the first Sunday of the month, or the first available Sunday in the month, will be the Patron Hangout, where we hang out to those who open our hearts to those who open their wallets for us. And yeah, that's kind of a lot of the housekeeping we want to take care of. So specifically for the Meta Lab, the show will continue, as always, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Mondays. That's not going to change. But, of course, we're going to be adding in that call-in portion of the show for a couple minutes where we allow the patrons to put their faces on the Meta Lab and ask their questions of us on the Meta Lab, or challenge us with their team build ideas and stuff like that. So, but for the rest of December, we're going to have one more episode. And that will be on Monday, the 17th. So Monday, December 17th will be the last Meta Lab episode of 2018. Then the next one will be January 7th going into the new year. I got to let the guys, the 17th is that last day before the holidays. Then, of course, the Monday after that's Christmas Eve. You're with families. The Monday after that is New Year's Eve. We're with families enjoying the festivities, as it were. The 7th is going to be a good time to roll back into things. And that will be, of course, when we roll back into our regularly scheduled programming. Now, that said, next week's episode is going to be the Year-End Spectacular, where we make our lists. It's our list show. We're making lists. Our favorite characters, least favorite characters, favorite set, least favorite set, highlight of the year, and we'll make our Clicks Year's resolutions, of course, going into next year. Yeah, so that's kind of our plan for the next couple weeks, couple months, going forward with Married with Clicks. So, there wasn't much in the way of questions this week. And I honestly don't have a lot of content to talk about this week. I've been on a little bit of lull for HeroClix, recovering from Worlds. We spent a lot of time talking about Worlds. I think we've come up with our constructive input and how things were run. We had a great old time, like we said. Would do it again, 10 out of 10. 9 out of 10. We'll call it 9 out of 10 because it wasn't 100% perfect, but nothing ever is. And, any kind of minor quirks we have to kind of address. So, but we have addressed our opinions on those matters. I'm not going to go out and be like, oh, it was horrible, when this is the first time they're running something on the scale of Worlds at PAX Unplugged. They had their growing pains understanding how the rules of PAX work, as my third to fifth hand knowledge was given to me. And, we all got to kind of grow together. There has been a little bit of news in the world of HeroClix, a little bit of an update as far as the new rock going-ons. Let me see if I can't find those, because those are actually kind of... we'll cover that very briefly. Just to... sorry. Kind of go into space and type at the same time. Here it is. So the new rules document is out there for the rock. And there's been a number of notable changes to formats, etc. So we'll put that on there, and we will do this. All right. So, in brief, the original tournament formats are changing from the rock valuation of things. As you can see, the rock standard no longer includes rock limited. The reason, of course, being WizKids says use all WizKids stuff. Makes sense. Makes perfect sense to me. That's one thing noted. This here is an important thing for tournament organizers. Single elimination seeds. We noticed there's a slight error in the team sealed seeding, as we in the top... Oh, no, hold on. Never mind. I'm going to shut my mouth. Because top 16, this actually now makes sense. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, never mind. I'm going to shut my mouth. All right. So that's a useful tool for anybody who doesn't understand tournament seeding. They kind of lay it out for us. This is an important part. The map section. These are going to be your rock legal maps going into 2017, 2018. You'll notice that some of the older maps are now off of this list. So it'll be the Donut Shop, the Underground, the Remote Outpost on the Mexican border. I love the name of that map. The Amusement Park, Strange Day in the Park, Titan's Reality, Ultimate Sacrifices, Oskopnir, Belgium, Mall Hall, Crash Landing, Clothing Hall, and the Food Court. Those will be part and parcel with the Modern Age WizKids Modern Age legal maps. Games still continue as always. Nothing big as far as this is concerned. Yeah. So long and the short of it is, The Rock has released this rules document, or this rules document has gotten out. I don't know if they've officially released it, officially announced it. I wasn't really catching on, as like I said, I've been a little busy this past weekend. But we now know that we have a list of maps, and we've got a massive format change. So it's just modern now, guys. HeroClix is just modern. As far as The Rock is concerned, I have no problem with this at all. And it says, they said there's special events as well, because winner maps are allowed to be any format. That, of course, being on the organizers to make sure your rules or your format or how you're running the tournament is exceptionally clear. I can't stress this enough, especially when you're running for points for the potential world championships. Like, you got to be clear on that. Looking forward to it. It's going to be neat. Like I said, it's a little bit of but a little bit of news as well, depending on how you take these sorts of things. Myself, I haven't really kept good track of rock maps, and that has often been my downfall when it comes to rock events. I'll get hit with something like the Underground, like, oh, there's no way I could have planned for this, and it kind of bites me in the keister. But now I got to be ready for it, because this is going to be part of the WizKids thing, as it were. What else? 300/400 point modern is going to be part of competitive play for the first several months between November and April of the rock season. So it goes October to October, right? Because Rocktober being the big thing. So when we come around to November is where they restart the sequence, and then from between November and April, you're allowed to run either 300 or 400 point modern as the format for your tournament, and then we go into a 300 point modern after that. Now, what that means is occasionally on this show we will spend some time between the months of November and April talking about a 400 point modern, because 400 point modern is a possible competitive format now that could get you in your steps towards world championships or national championships. So that said, it's time to be aware of that and start thinking about that. It's going to be part of the conversation now. So this is big news / news. Yeah. So that kind of covers that. So is rock. We covered the housekeeping. We're going to do that Patreon update as soon as possible. I don't know if we have much else. Like I said, this is going to be a short one, guys. So unless anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, liabilities, interesting jokes, puns, we might be calling it a day super quick. Just to kind of rev up for that last episode of the year. In the Mind of Madness will be live on Wednesday. We're calling it the epilogue episode, where I kind of personally sit down and talk about my personal feelings, because last Monday we spent a lot of time talking about the team's overall view of World, and that being myself and Devin, not Tom. Tom was not available for that episode. So we're going to talk more about just, my deep personal thoughts. But I don't think I have a great deal to change beyond that. So it might be a little bit of echo chamber / repeating myself. We'll see. Then Every Man for Everyone will be on Thursday live. Both of those shows are going to be live at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that I have time to spend with Amber, and she'll be asleep by the time I start the show. That's why we've kind of changed those episodes. Monday is just Monday. Yeah, I think we're going to call it a night on this one. So I want to thank everybody for... here we go. Yes, Rick, I did get your battle report, and we're going to talk about it on Thursday. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm bringing out my best sports announcer voice for your little blurb about it. I'm really looking forward to reading it, and a lot of fun. So, that's it, guys. Quick update, quick housekeeping, little brush, a little broom across the room, as it were. Recovering from a bit of a hectic week, as it were. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week with our year-end Meta Lab. I did have fun at PAX. Happy Little HeroClix. I most certainly did. When it comes down to it, because I'm a board game enthusiast as well, the fact that I was able to kind of goof around on Sunday and look into things. We got a board game for the family that we were actually able to play when we got back on the Monday. And the kids had a riot with it, and we had a lot of fun with it. It's always good. Amber had a lot more fun checking out the other stuff than I did too, because she had all of Saturday off as well to go futz around.
Do not regret that at all.
Amber regrets nothing. Amber is not big on the singles competition these days, or non-sealed for that matter. So, but yeah, I had a ton of fun at PAX, and looking forward to sharing my personal thoughts on it on Wednesday. Yeah. So, as always, I want to thank everybody who's watching this very short, very brief house cleaning episode of the Meta Lab. I hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful holiday season. Next Monday, we look forward to sharing our year in review of 2018. It's been a hectic year for HeroClix. Like, I thought last year was wacky. This year was something else, man. I did not get a chance to play Happy Little HeroClix and Every Man. One of these things is I try to make plans to play. All right, I guess I got a little time before I wrap up. But Ricky there wants to know if I got a chance to play Happy Little HeroClix and Every Man, and we ran out of time. In addition to the fact that I try to do these things where I plan to play like a fun game with somebody, And I have blown it off so many times in events. I've really got to stop trying to do it because this is my life when I'm at these conventions. I've got a lot of people vying for my attention. The most important of which, of course, is the woman I married. So if she wants me to do something, I do it. Then, of course, there's the people who I came with. And, you know, my stomach. Those are the three most important people before I talk to anybody else. And, yeah, so I did my best. I did my best, and I will one day get a handle on this whole thing. Maybe it'll be like, I think the best time if it would have been back when Rocktober was in Atlanta, and I was in the hotel that they were running the event in. I would have been like, just come up to my room, let's go do this, or just let's go grab a table in the middle of me drinking and let's go do this. Those are the best times for me to catch me. So anyway, love you, happy little HeroClix. We'll get something together soon. I just gotta get my life in order. In the meantime, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your patience with us. Thank you guys for your well wishes through the kind of particularly rough weekend that I just had, which was, you know, started on the Tuesday, which is why a lot of our live content didn't get through. And we really look forward to being able to bring you guys a little bit more content throughout the rest of the year. And then for a couple weeks in December, we'll be off because it'll be the holiday season. So after next week will be the last, like, any kind of content coming out. And I'm not sure what our Wednesday, Thursday content will look like. We'll give it a try. But I may be out doing the shopping for the Xmas, as it were. And, you know, kind of read it as we go. So good luck, or good shopping through the holidays for everybody. Check out majesticccg.com/apex-insiders, your one-stop source for all things HeroClix. $3 a month, access to some really great brains in the game of HeroClix. They're good people, and Pat's been doing a great job running that. He recently ran his Majestics Invitational tournament this past weekend. It sounded like it was a ton of fun. Wish I could have been a part of that, but congrats on running that there, Pat. And we look forward to seeing you guys on the show in the next couple of weeks. But, you know, just because it's the holidays doesn't mean you can't get a couple of games of HeroClix in. Because all games of HeroClix, when it comes to the grand scale of things, it's a little bit of practice. And practice will make your team better. Have a good night, everybody.